officially back for more. Turning on the game audio. I'll do a quick actual audio check on Twitch on my phone. Make sure my voice doesn't sound robotic and choppy or whatever else happens sometimes. So you might hear an echo for a second, so I'm just going to test this. Alright, sounds good. No weird choppiness or anything like that. So that checks out. And the game audio is running. We're ready to go. Welcome back. To both me and you. I think I might go for like the standard 2 hours. But I'm really feeling it right now. Like, I want to do more. So I might actually keep going past 2 hours this time, but don't take my word for it. We'll see what happens. Depends on if some of my friends want to do some activities later. But if not, I think I might keep going for quite a while this one. I want to see what happens next. I'm kind of intrigued, so let's do this. Leon, might I ask a favor of you? I'm not normally one to pry, but Flamen has been oddly distracted ever since you came back to tell us of your travels in the first. Would you go and see if she's alright? Well, I can have an idea why. Old enemies, new threats. I mean, her daughter is basically, like, gone forever now. Leon, my, what a pleasant surprise. You've come to inquire after the Archons. Fear not. Master Matoya's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal ether. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we could go with you to the first and help. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Who this? Oh, this guy. Ah, Leon. It has been far too long, my friend. Indeed it has. Haven't seen him since before ShadowBringers started. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garlean ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Alden, offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Ah, yes. I have heard stories of a defector from Garlemald. But never mind that. You said you have urgent news? Indeed. As you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Garlean forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that this de-escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Commander Alden has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it was clear to whom he wished I extend this invitation. It would seem time is of the essence. Well, he'll not be attending this meeting alone. Though I am not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades, I see no reason to burden a single scion with all this. I know, Alfino's not here. Yes, of course, and we must make for the Alamegan quarter with all haste. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two! Much has changed since the first time we set foot in this city. Now we strive to preserve their freedom rather than reclaim it. But we've no time to reminisce. We mustn't keep the commander waiting. Commander Alden awaits us in the royal palace. If you would follow me. Oh shit! Ice is here. It's his posse.
They're here, Commander.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark.
Yeah, you could say
I
that.
understand half of it. When the science spoke of other worlds, I'd struggled to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury. I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea. Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed, few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea. We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope.
Of course.
Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon, and emerged victorious. We need you. And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The Fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day, the plight of the Scions grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. The way home. Take it you're ready to return to the first? And I would ask that you apprise the others of recent events here in the source. Namely, Xenos' return and the developments of a new Ultima weapon. As for their bodies, you may assure them Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal ether stable. Safe travels, Leon. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. A little wave. Excuse me. Hope I don't get the hiccups on stream. I did just chug another water bottle. Feeling pretty dehydrated, so not anymore. That also means I might have to take some breaks in a minute. Once the water starts making its way through me. That is. The demon brick. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and a means to return the Scions home. I trust you two have been making good use of your time? Well, yeah, you could say that. Sort of. Ill tidings from the source, you say? Then I will summon the others that we might all be apprised of the situation. Please.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source?
Shit's going down. That's what I would say. That's how I'd open up that dialogue.
A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Becklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white auracite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both, that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
There's always a catch, dude. Always.
The vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory. It wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within auracite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Damn. Feeling a bit of a crash coming on. It may simply be my imagination, but Lena has been rather brusque with me of late. You don't suppose she's still upset over that mishap with the salmon fillet, do you? What? Never have I seen such a repository of knowledge. A stark reminder of what little we truly know of the world. Upon White Orosite's crystalline foundation, we have built not a prison, but a refuge for the soul. Would that Moonbrita were here to see the wonders inspired by her research. Yeah, poor Moonbrita. To think we will not only have Xenos to contend with once we return, but a new Ultima weapon as well. Why must all of our enemies insist on returning from their graves? They die hard, huh? Seeking counsel. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it will be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, shall we go and speak with Lena? I suggest we hurry. Lena does not strike me as one who enjoys being made to wait. We have little time, so I will be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. A Sin Eater? I had heard some few yet remained after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call the others. That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater. A simple task for our guard, I should think. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. Peace can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Why not Alfie? No. Let's be about it then. Excellent. Then let us make for Fort Job. Natural sunlight. Ugh. The Sin Eaters that remain no longer have a leader to guide them, but they are no less dangerous. They cannot be suffered to live. If you would wait here for a moment, I will gather the others. You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door that day after the Sin Eaters attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd have likely stepped through. And I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. Yeah, I remember these guys. I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sin Eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her or my comrades. And so I have returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. A pleasure to meet you, sir, truly. It seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride an Amaro to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think the Yulmoran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side, but we will do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. We seem to be missing one. My apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. It won't happen again. The name's Thaler. I'm sure you don't remember, but we met once before in the infirmary. Oh, this guy. I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up, don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart, and the boundless, beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the Knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. But there are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know, and so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up. We won't give in. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. One second. Got a Discord message. Ah. If I hadn't seen him with my own eyes, I'd have sworn it was you who killed that Sin Eater. It looks weird.
Did you slay this Eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. The man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself. Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. Never seen anything like it. So I says to him, "Who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness?" And he says, "No, I'm a warrior of light." And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
This guy's voice acting is on point.
A warrior of light?
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today. But I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias.
That Alfino has a new weapon.
But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating. Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true.
He wants to live now, huh?
It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
These are some beautifully delivered lines. The emotion really comes through.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you just said it before I left. He's worried about why you're not talking to him too much.
As we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
facing the truth. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I will see the others back to their posts. It's dangerous to stay out here, so I'll teleport first, but I'm gonna be right back because I am going to the restroom. Looks like that water's finally making its way through, so this is probably one of many. It is what it is. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Bum, transition over just to catch that dope. Alright, let's do this. Where you at, Alfie Node? Usual spot. Okay. Always make sure the audio is running, because my first few streams ever, which are now like over a year ago, I had streams where they were completely muted, because I didn't check the audio levels, both from the game and my mic, so always gotta be doing regular audio checks. An adventurer calling themselves a warrior of light. Why would anyone tie themselves to the legacy of individuals held in such low regard in the first? Which is totally unfair, but yeah. Warriors of light, harbingers of the flood and all the world's woes. That this wanderer would so boldly claim their title is most curious indeed. It is strange to think how heroes so beloved by the people could be brought so low in so short a time. Pretty bad. Alfino tells me a warrior of light has slain the Sin Eater. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to make of this. Ah, yes, I was hoping to speak with you about, On second thought, never mind. It would be rude of me to pry. Don't worry, I told her, man. You're fine. I winged for you, bro. You're good. The others were quite shocked to hear what we found in Lakeland. But now that you're here, there is a proposal I should like to make. Let's hear it. I've been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I have noted more and more people perusing books on history. The years leading up to the Flood, in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light as well as they should. As well they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as Sin Eaters or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors may lead to growing unrest and fear. The people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehoods found within full many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary a mention of the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I am not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. The broken telephone, right? Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, their reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. That said, there still remain those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the Flood. Considering all the good they had done, I find it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Obert. That such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as Sin Eaters is absurd. Under normal circumstances I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one truth remained, that they were the cause of the Flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the Warriors of Light to become villains deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all of you, however, their lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claimed it was Ardbert who helped you overcome Emmett Selk, correct? Such a revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who know him only as a villain. I have shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Alfinode's plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Light and the Flood that followed in their wake. I mean, I know all of their story now, since I did all the role quests, so I'll help out where I can. Well, what say you, Leon? I wish we had done this sooner. In hindsight, I agree, but better late than never, no? Yeah. I won't argue. Exarch, might I ask you to continue working with Becklug on our means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium and the Excedra. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. I have seen many a great and terrible thing in my long life, and as has the Exarch, no doubt. Of man I can say this. His memory is short, his heart fickle. Let us pray that your words reach him. I know what you mean. There can be no darkness without light, and so it was that Ardworth was there in your hour of need. The people must be told. Speak with the people of the Crystarium. They're probably spread out all over. Jesus. Ugh, and in a place where you can't use your mount. Awful. Alright, whatever. First place, tomorrow lunch. I'm gonna go counterclockwise. I seem to favor that direction for some reason, when I have to do things in a circular fashion. Kinda weird. Whew. Well, at least this is a bit more interesting to me than everything that happened in 5.1, which was kind of Resident Sleeper. Up until the end, at least. Well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter I received from Grenold not long ago. He says a visitor from the Crystarium found him at the bottom of the ocean and that he inspired him to reach new artistic heights. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats, so I'd say the letter is far more impressive. To think fate could bring the two of you together in such a place. Yeah, it's true. It happened. I'm sorry? You mean the Exarch didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Okay, so she's receptive. The Cabinet of Curiosity. Ethernet shard right there. Morin! No, this can't be. Surely there's at least one book here that does not cast the Warriors of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Was that a pun? Was that an intentional pun? I doubt it. Oh, Leon! Forgive me. The Cabinet of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks for the knowledge they seek. The people wish to know the truth of the Flood, of the Warriors of Light. I have searched high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sin-eaters. Abominations worthy only of sworn resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, yet I can find no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. You would address the people and tell them the truth of the Warriors of Light, of the Flood? How wonderful! You have regaled me with the tale once before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. Cool. Where's our next objective? These two, right? I think so. So... to the Música Universales markets. I will always say that in Spanish, too. Just makes too much sense. Wait, I think I skipped past one. Oh, yeah, I did. That's the infirmary, so... Gate could be better. Chesamine. Leon! My, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hope you being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients coming through my door of late. Which is a shame, come to think of it. I've had fewer opportunities to test my new medicines. I jest, of course. It's actually been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and again. The truth about the Warriors of Light? But the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. Let's try this again. Don't sneeze! I haven't talked to this dude in a while. Broggy? Come to browse wares in the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need, whatever it may be. Under Yulmore's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is that fellow from Daedalus Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is booming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Norvrant reaps the benefits. But you've not come to talk about the market. Something on your mind? I see. The Exarch did mention they had something to do with your returning the knight to Norvrant. Alright, consider my interest piqued. Right. Keep forgetting I can't do that here. It's easy to forget. I think it's right up there. Leonard! Hey, buddy. Well. So what do I owe this pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you to be brief. With the night return, visitors have been flocking to the Crystarium, and I find myself too busy by half. As I said, to what do I owe the pleasure, not this pleasure. Same sentiment, though. I don't mind it, though. Seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. The Warriors of Light? Yes, the Exarch has mentioned them before, but everyone knows them now as the Cardinal Virtues. Or are you suggesting there's more to it than that? Well, you've yet to steer us wrong, so I'm willing to hear what you have to say. Good. Those I spoke with at the orchard and the rookery were quite keen to hear what we have to say. For as much hope as they have for the future, the scars of the past weigh heavy on them still. It is good to see the people of the Crystarium so eager to learn the truth. And with this newfound knowledge of the past, they will at last be able to look to the future with eyes unclouded. True. History is important. Needs to be accurate, too. There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we've swept the Crystarium from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for the people to gather.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
You want me to give a speech?
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
I guess I have given speeches before. In real life, that is. It's up to Leon to follow in my footsteps. Go for it, dude. Say something! And I do know all of their stories. I defeated all of the cardinal virtues and learned the backstory of every single one of them. How they all came together and worked together for the greater good. As well as helping save people that they personally vowed to do so. They only had the best of intentions for the world. For everyone. They had no idea they were going to bring upon the flood when they did what they did at the end. They worked together. They were partners. They loved each other. And they made the ultimate sacrifice in the end. They should not be hated for what they did. They helped my ass.
Wicked White. The Warriors of Light did all that?
Yeah.
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help.
That's what I just said.
And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
Monka shake.
Impossible.
I don't know if that's Ardbird or not, but it's not the one we know. Whatever. You can see him too. He's missing the.
I definitely see something.
He's missing the little
I don't think
beard
it's a
here.
ghost, do you?
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbird.
What in the world?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the warrior of darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time, though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium, I am Ardbert, one of those you know as a warrior of light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass.
I think I know where this is going.
The hero who stands before you now, the warrior of darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home. But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
What? Us? Warriors of Light?
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first. I've not had the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
It looks like him and sounds like him, but it isn't him. Again, he's missing the little beard here.
Trust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yeah. We became one and the same again.
Yet that which standeth now
the
before
rejoining
people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
That he is an Ascian.
Yeah.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve as the Virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus.
Elidibus. That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form, and cognizant no doubt of Emmett Selk's failure here in the first, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen? My, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Yeah, they do. It is pretty disgusting.
Verily. For they possess no corporeal forms of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure. It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to appear before me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him. In such puppetry do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history.
And they have gained much by it. Emmett Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while La Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
If I get possessed by an Ascian, yeah, that would suck.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps?
I think you hit it on the head with that one. Same rules don't apply anymore.
To hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, what little I did glean may now prove useful.
This was such a long time ago.
Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now I believe he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
The ocular. It lives up to its name. You can see what's happening in other places. Let me check some Discord messages real quick. Quite a few of them came through. Alright, here comes another one of my infamous breaks because, you know, too much fucking water. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. It's the way I left was so unceremonious. It's funny though. Anyway. Let's continue where we left off. We must not act until Ardbert hath made plain his plans. It would be folly to proclaim him false at this juncture. We were a hair's breadth from defeat when we faced them at Silk. And now we must contend with yet another Ascian. We must tread carefully. What a despicable practice appropriating corpses. Such depravity eclipses any horrors I witnessed in the age of Obert. They must be stopped. Agreed. Asleep disturbed. Oh, we're going to Rocktika. From what I can see. You did well to dispel the falsehoods surrounding the Warriors of Light and their actions prior to the Flood. Though I must say the reappearance of Ardbert, or rather, one who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. He is an impostor, of that there is no doubt, but to the masses he will appear as a hero returned from the grave. After the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore, the people prayed fervently for the gods to deliver them from their plight. Prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for their sacrifices. What bitter irony. I, for one, would like to know why Ardbert urged the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. Ere we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Let us pray that Master Alfino returns soon with that most essential knowledge. For now, I think it best to apprise Thancred and Reen of our efforts. When we do confront Ardbert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what's to come. Becklug and I will continue our research into how we might improve the spirit vessel, that it might one day carry you home. And I think it's time I return to the Greatwood. Until now, everything we have learned of the Ascians has been handed to us at their leisure. But that was one of Emetself's unique failings. I have no reason to think Elidibus will be as forthcoming. Fortunately, I recently received word from Fanao that heretofore unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Katana Ravel. Almet believes the relics within tell of a great calamity that befell an ancient civilization, that of the Ascians, perhaps. They may lead us to the truths we seek. Let me know how that works out. Bye. You know what? I'm in the mood to fuck with her. Otherwise, I would have said, you want company? I fail to see why that would be necessary, given that you will be accompanying me. Don't be coy. It doesn't suit you. Damn. She caught me. Still, I like to think of it as subtle flirting. Anyway, when you are ready, make for Fanao. Almet and her sisters will be expecting us. Flirting with Y'shtola. I have become a stereotype. Anyway, then let us be about our tasks. Pray give my regards to the... Alright, the bees. That's the plural they use, I guess, for Viera. Maybe. Unless it just specifically refers to them, but... I was just teasing you, Y'shtola. Don't be mad. Though I'd like to join you in untangling the Ascians' machinations, I think it best I stay here and devote my energies to finding a way to deliver the Scions back onto the source. I will help the Exarch in any way I can, but the key to solving our problem lies with him and the Alaganai. I want to go into this and read books. I'm gonna skip a loading screen. Just teleport from here. That's the second time I've teased Y'shtola in some way, and she's done that. She's done that like smirk or little smile with her eyes. I think the last time was I think is when I said when she was like telling me to go get sleep when I became a Lightworking. And I was like, yes, mother, because she was like almost ordering me. She takes jokes well. Didn't get all pissed. What did she say in response? I remember I laughed quite a bit at this. I think she said something about if I don't watch it, or if I'm like cheeky, I think. She'll bend me over her knee. Spank my ass like a child. I was talking to somebody on stream that day too. They made fun of me for that. I can't remember though. That was a while ago. The allies of Ronka. My, it feels as if an age has passed since you last graced us with your presence. And it's raining now. You look as if you haven't seen us in an age. Is the passage of time really all that different for you humans? Maybe. Let us pray these new ruins are not as unwelcoming as the last. I think they will be. If they add about one dungeon every patch, I can already see what's coming. Welcome, allies of Ronka. We have accomplished much since last you came. With the Light Warden dead and its minions dispersed, we have at last reclaimed our hunting grounds near Raktika Falls. It was there that we discovered more ruins. Although we ran afoul of no traps while exploring its halls, we determined that the innermost chambers were warded by magic. We all were in agreement, before any investigation could proceed, you should be summoned. Well, thanks for considering us. We are grateful that you did. From what you have told me, I strongly suspect that the wisdom my comrades and I seek can be found within. This wisdom could prove invaluable, for we may soon face a foe whose greatest asset is our ignorance. I see. Then it is good that you have come, for Ronka was once home to the greatest of weapons, knowledge and understanding. And it is our duty to ensure you and yours do not want for either. That said, we must proceed with caution. To have reached the inner chambers unmolested suggests a more formidable deterrent yet lies within. Come now. Surely any threats sleeping within the ruins pale in comparison to those we have faced thus far. Why would you assume that? This is not a game, sister. You should not be so eager to run headlong into danger. Oh? And who was it pining for the return of our allies that we might venture into the ruins? Clutching her staff at night, wishing it were... You promised not to tell! Then I suggest we be going. That was fucked up. Get back here! Oh my god. Remind me, exactly how old are you and your sisters? On second thought, perhaps it's for the better, I do not know. Pray forgive their overzealous nature. None save we three have been privileged to escort you and yours into the ruins and bear witness to its secrets. Their hearts now burn with a curiosity that is not easily satiated. Please, you needn't apologize. As a seeker of knowledge myself, I understand full well their enthusiasm. And if not for your sedulous efforts to protect the ruins, we would not be afforded this opportunity. Sedulous, huh? I don't think I've heard that word before. Speaking of which, I believe I have kept you away from the ruins long enough. Come, let us make for the Katana Ravo. Watch it just be a hard mode of the same dungeon. Which is usually different though, it's still not the same. You don't go through the same areas, but still. Bom, 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 bom. Fenrir, away! God, that was cheesy. What is that? Cool. Little plant. Alright, so... Can I go under this? Yes, I think I can. Excellent. Even M itself was taken aback to find a mural illustrating the final days in these ruins. What other surprises do you suppose yet lie within? I feel oddly ill-equipped to venture inside, but with you here, I'm sure things will work out. Ready when you are. Well, this is probably going to turn into Indiana Jones 2.0 over here. Gonna get chased by a boulder and have to evade a bunch of traps or something. It is most strange for these halls to be left unguarded. Have care when breaking the seal on the chamber door. Danger surely awaits us on the other side. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. I'm glad they shortened that down. Sleep disturbed. And
Come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
This is where the previous dungeon ended. The boss area, right there. The Hound Out of Heaven. What was its proper name? So that was just an attack it did. Can't remember.
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast.
Say that again.
Though that much is plain from its proportions.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed.
Oh god. What a bitch.
Why you... Ugh.
This owl, by contrast, seems no different from the others we've seen.
The sealed door lies ahead. As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
Too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism.
I think so too. It's never that easy, right?
Just a moment. There are words carved into the stone. He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber shall instead waken the beast and know his folly.
Uh-oh.
Wait! Don't!
Always read that too late, right? That's typical trope.
What? But I only... What is happening? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it lives!
Why am I not surprised? Prepare yourselves.
I think it's nightmare fuel. What the fuck? Of course it's not that easy. Fuck. It's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom 2.0, isn't it? Hmm. I don't know much about these creatures. Also, I gotta look up a word real quick, which could make the difference between the choice I make right now. 1 second. This is called Use Google to help you cheat. Ah, okay. Deft means nearly skillful and quick in one's movements. Well, only one of these creatures has a paw, so it's a coral. Damn. See, I don't know much about the Opopo either. I guess it also had a paw. A wolf statue? I mean, this one sounds a bit more obvious when compared to the other two choices. Serpent? Yeah. Hmm. Any way to tell them apart? 'Cause I don't see it. Sure, I have no idea how to tell. Oh. I don't know if that's a good idea, though. Fuck! Oh, for fuck's sake. Of course, it was the last one I tried. Oh, love speaking in rhymes, this thing does. Waka. Waka. Oaxaqueña? Are we fighting? We scrapping now? I guess we're scrapping. Let's do it. Fuck, he's just too far away. Out of fucking time. An exhausting ordeal nonetheless. Yeah, that was quite something. Certainly a time sink to a certain extent.
Twould seem the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
Ah, we were bound to run into a living statue eventually. And now we can open the door.
Of course. That smile.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber.
Meteors?
A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
She is Vis. Could it be the Archmage Tiuna? A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation, so potent was her spellcraft. Though she ever fought in the name of peace.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, I, for one, always believed.
I wonder. By the light of fallen stars, great power awakens.
Tiuna was not only a master of spellcraft. It is said she could see truths long lost and hear the voices of men's hearts.
Naught less than the echo.
Precisely.
In which case, none of this is mere coincidence. A shower of stars setting the sky aflame. And in both this world and the Source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight. We can never unpick the why of it. Now, however, I believe we might. Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel? Moreover, does it not recall that which Emet-Selch invited us to witness in Amarot?
Yeah, it does actually. There it is. It's all coming together.
The final days. If, as the Exarch's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable trigger? The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory. But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided, would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar. I shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence. Still, I cannot choose but be reminded of our experience in Amarot. Remember us.
History is learned, not lived. We have always protected the Tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us. We see the past through our own eyes and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
Your mothers were wise. Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions could not fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently.
Yeah.
We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emet and his kin. But we have disturbed Tuna long enough. Fana will serve similarly well as a venue for our contemplations.
We learn nothing of the Asians, but the potential link between the Echo and preternatural star showers is intriguing. Tuna is the reason I took up spellcraft, you know. Let's fuck that up. Ha! Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine her tomb would be found. Let alone that we would be the ones to have the honor to do so. Very cool, eh? I sorely underestimated the defenses of these ruins. Perhaps Simet was right to urge caution. By your pensive expression, I take it the tomb has given you much to think about. That is well. In time, the knowledge you have gleaned will lead to understanding, and thus arm you for what is to come. Before you leave, however, I would speak again of the teachings of our forebears, of histories learned, not lived. The legend of Tuna and her exploits have been told countless times over the centuries, yet as it is handed from one generation to the next, the story changes. With each telling of the tale, there are new flourishes, details changed or lost. We can never truly know how she lived, for we were not there to see it. But we are here now to bear witness to your life. We have seen the change you have wrought, the echoes that will endure long after you are gone. And though it too will change in time, I swear to you we shall do our best to preserve your story. I like that. I hope you'll forgive me if I don't make an oath of my own, but I think it goes without saying we could never misspeak of your heroism. Perish the thought! So long as we are here, there are none among the bees who will not know of all you have done for Norbrand. We are not deserving of such reverence, but we are grateful all the same. You can be certain we will have our own tales to tell of the great guardians of Raktika and the ruins of Ronka. I pray you safe travels then. As ever, we shall await your return with open arms. An old friend. Although we learned naught of the Asians, the insight we gained into the Echo made our trip worthwhile. Before we return to the Crystarium, however, there is a small matter I would attend to in Slitherbow. Might I trouble you to come with me? Thank you. After we arrive, we should have a brief word with Runar. Somebody semi-spoiled what happens here. But I know not the context of it yet. So there's that. Runar appears to be in characteristically high spirits. Leon, it is so good to see you. You've arrived at a most opportune time. I was preparing a pot of my famous stew. Come, I will ready a place for you. I'm sorry, Runar, but we haven't, Please, I insist. It will only take a minute. Someone's eager. My apologies, Leon. It seems our return to the Crystarium will be delayed. But perhaps only for a bit, if you assist me with my work. I say work, but it is rather more a chore. I must clean my chambers here in Slitherbough from top to bottom. If you would be so kind as to go and fetch a broom from Aeskir, we might finish before Runar is done cooking. Okay. I like the name. Now, where was I supposed to... This way. A broom for Master Matoya? I cannot imagine why she would have need of such a thing, but here you are. It is old but sturdy and sure to suffice. It's just far enough. I trust Aeskir was able to find a broom for us. Sure, it's all fucked up, but... Here you go. Oh! Oh. Well worn. Good. This would prove difficult otherwise. Though I must say, I think I did rather well for not having a broom thus far. Sure. Sure, yeah, we'll say this is, Yes, well, you weren't buried beneath a veritable avalanche of books when you entered, were you? Right. Anyway, this time I finished cleaning with the help of that broom. I was just about to make fun of her for the disarray of books. It's like, what are you doing? Gonna do what our master taught her? Matoya? You didn't honestly think I'd do it the old-fashioned way. That broom is more than capable of sweeping by itself. Or rather, it will be. Time to rise, to swish and sweep. A tidy chamber you must keep. To this task you shall be bound, until no dust is to be found. We got smaller. There we go. In this one's particular respect, I've no objections to following in Master Matoya's footsteps. That's cute. In future, I may need you to remind me the pursuit of knowledge does not preclude other equally important duties, such as maintaining clean quarters for said pursuit. Eavesdropping. I will dearly miss this place, these people. Master Matoya, pardon the interruption, but the stew is ready. Is something troubling you? You've been rather quiet. No, everything is fine, I assure you. It has been a long day is all. I see. Stola! Thank goodness you're still here. Oh, these guys. What have you guys doing? Okay. Althema? I thought you were following Ardbert. I was, though I'm sad to say I lost track of him shortly after entering these woods. He seems determined to traverse every elm of Norvrent in his quest to spread the truth of the Warriors of Light and Blood. And it seems news of your address at the Crystarium precedes him at every destination, making his task all the more simple. It remains to be seen to what end he encourages the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. But there is no denying that his words have struck a chord with many. Well, we're all agreed that this is just another Asian ploy, yes? They've commandeered corpses before and to no good end. I see no reason to think this time is any different, especially when it's that of a fallen Warrior of Light. I doubt we'll learn more if we remain a step behind. His next destination is in all likelihood Slitherbow. Alize, are you certain you should be here? If you're concerned about Halric and the others, you needn't be. Their treatment is going well, but progress is slow and exhausting for all of us. The best thing I can do now is to let them rest. So, I believe we were about to discuss how to arrange a meeting with our would-be Warrior of Light. Before visiting any towns or villages, Ardbert would hunt down and slay a nearby Sin Eater to earn the locals' trust. Our best chance of getting ahead of him is to find one before he does. Thankfully, Thancred and Reen are returned from the Empty and have taken up the search. Reen believeth one may lurk beneath the boughs of Woven Oath. And that is where we will start our search. Master Matoya! A warm bowl of stew will be awaiting your return. I look forward to it. You're gonna run out of time to say it, friend. Don't wait too long. Ah, but we all want the timing to be perfect, don't we? I can sense no other Sin Eaters in the area. I hope this means Ardbert will be coming this way soon. Nice to see you too, Reen. It's been a long time. Shit.
If you were hoping to vent your frustrations on our Issa friend here, I can only apologize.
Few as they are now, it took us no time at all to track it down.
That suits our purpose perfectly. Now we need only wait for Ardbert to arrive.
Weren't you two meant to be attending to the empty?
We were, and are, but we can hardly ignore the rest of the world. So we thought we might see how things were coming along. From what we can gather, the answer is strangely.
Right now, we think we can do more good here.
It is heartening to have all present.
Indeed. We will be glad of the additional hands should matters escalate.
Our quarry has come.
It seems I've lost this particular race.
Yeah, you did.
Although I suppose it's only fair. When we first met, it was I who outpaced you. Ravana, was it?
Yep. Tables have turned.
But where are my manners? I wouldn't be here were it not for you, and I have yet to say a word of thanks.
You wish Sato was here?
Poor fellow. He will be sorely missed.
I thought you were supposed to be good at this.
Very well. Let us forego this pretense. After all, it was never you that I needed to deceive.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, it is I, Elizabeth. Through your time in Emet-Selk's imitation of our home, I dare say you have gained a better understanding of my role since last we met. Not that it matters.
We understand your role, emissary, but not your goal. What is it that you seek to achieve?
I seek to enact the will of the Convocation, of course. If it helps you to think of me as but another Ascian, no different in nature or purpose from the rest, you are welcome to do so.
I think it's the first time I actually hear his voice, too.
Your goal was destruction alone. Now I understand that you fight for something you love, just as we do. Yet though we seem doomed to clash, I bid you consider Emet-Selk's final words. Remember that we once lived, he said. Had he not seen some glimmer of hope in our kind, I do not believe he would have spoken thus.
None better understood your plight than he. His words must surely be worthy of your consideration.
Emet-Selk. How very unlike you to err so gravely. That one should stray at the end of so onerous a path is understandable, but I had thought you above such weakness. Mayhap you thought the same. Would that I had been present to offer correction. But I shall do so now, as is my duty, and return all to its proper course. As for you, look at yourselves. Look at your history. Look back 100 short years to how your greatest warriors were undone. And now, at but a word from me, you raise your hands in answer like the puppets you are. Naught has changed. You fail, and you fail, and you learn nothing. Allow that which is most important to slip through your fumbling fingers like so many grains of sand, again and again and again, and you would remember us. You do forget yourselves. There is no common ground to be found between you and I, nor do I require any. I have my duty.
Wait!
Well, we have confirmed the identity of our foe at least, and 'tis safe to say his objective is the rejoining.
But we still have no idea how playing the part of a warrior of light will further his cause, nor why he would spur others to do the same.
Another visit to the Tempest may shed some light upon these mysteries.
I'm so glad I unlocked flight there, because I knew we'd be going back.
Whether we are to exchange words or blows with Elidibus at our next meeting, the fact remains, we know too little. Ere our paths cross again, I would learn more of the world that once was, and of Elidibus himself. In this, we would be best served going directly to his home, much as Emmett Selk came to ours.
Though I see the wisdom in thy suggestion, the Amarot we visited is but a phantom born of Emmett Selk's memory. I fear it will teach us little that we do not already know.
I quite agree. Yet the ruins of the actual city remain unexplored. Given the vastness of the Tempest, I should not be surprised were there more such structures like to those in which the Ondo reside.
Ah, yes. As long as you don't make me do any more tours.
Keep that up and I'll send you to bed without supper.
Oh my god. She keeps playing along when I tease her like that. It's great.
Assuming we are all in agreement, then I suggest we first pay a visit to the Ondo. If anyone can tell us where more ruins are to be found, it is them.
Ah, we continue the same shtick. It's like she said when she... It's just like when she said she'd bend me over her knee, man. She doesn't let up. She fires back. It's fun. I like it. I also like how the music paused because everybody was like... What? Yeah, Lindsay, I feel that. Would that I have found the words to deny Elidibus. We are so much more than he believes us to be, and yet not entirely. Am I the only one who sees the irony in Ardbert calling us puppets? It's not really him, so... I hate to leave him like that. Gods, they can't even let a man rest in peace. Thancred told me what La Habrea did to him. I can't imagine how he's feeling right now. Disdain and obfuscation. What is thy true design, emissary? That motherfucker. I was trying to. Alright, whatever. Deep designs. Alfino has the right of it. Let us pay visit to the Ondo. We should speak with Tolsh Ath first. As chieftain, he is doubtless privy to a great many secrets. Ah. 1 second. I've reached pretty much what is normally the end of my stream. Oh, I might have to BRB again in a minute. Oh shit, what the It's weird. And new. Yeah, that doesn't feel right. What's up, Valencia? How you doing tonight? Check my messages too. Well, more than just these ones. Deciding if I'm gonna continue streaming or not. Oh. Alright then. Just fishing? Sounds good, Valencia, sounds good. I'll wrap up soon, but I'll probably go another like 15 minutes or so. Kinda curious about what's gonna happen when we go to the Tempest. I almost forgot the damn name. Put a timer on here. I'll go like another 15 minutes, see what's up. Gonna do an expert roulette before you go to sleep. This place feels much less ominous than the first time we were here. Then again, we did have the shadow of your impending death hanging over us. It's true, I was gonna die. Don't be shy now. Yes, mother. Perhaps we might look in on Posh Owen while we're in the area. I'm glad to have the opportunity to visit the Tempest again. It's so lovely here, like a different world entirely. Under the sea? Yeah. Mayhap we shall find the secrets we seek in these depths, should their keepers consent to aid us. The last time we were here, the Ondo sent us to slay a massive creature. Excuse me? 'Twas as large as Leviathan, twice as angry and... Yes, of course, I jest. It was only half as large. I have sent for no finless ones. Perhaps you instead come seeking something of us? Yeah, actually. Stuff. Ruins which your kind have yet to explore. I see. I know of one such place. Alas, under these circumstances, I am afraid we can spare none to guide you there. And what circumstances are these? Rather than hunt for their own meals, the Benthos have pillaged our stores of mineral... No, wait, mineral liver. They must be replenished with haste. The Benthos. A particularly violent tribe of Ondo, if I recall. A band of bottom feeders. We all lost much in the flood, but while others work to rebuild, they resort to thievery and murder. Revenge, they call it, when they prey upon your kind, but do not be fooled. They care not who they harm. Would that we had the warriors to challenge them. It's not the first time they have stolen from us, but there is no resource more precious than liver. All must dedicate themselves to the hunt. Unless, of course, we were to reclaim the livers for you. Seems a fitting payment for vital information, does it not? Moreover, one could argue that by employing Bismarck to reach these depths, thereby driving back the waters, we are in part responsible for the deeds of those driven to desperate ends by the changing climes. Very well said. Yeah, we certainly can't leave him like this. I thought you might say that. You've never been one to miss an opportunity to help. Reclaiming the stores it is, then. We would be grateful beyond words if you did. The Benthos have surely taken the livers back to the Flounder's floor. But be warned, there will be no shortage of guards waiting to spear intruders. Then we will have care not to draw their attention, shall we? The Foundler's floor is to the northwest. We all know keep our distance. Were we not in dire straits, I would advise you to do the same. Northwest, huh? Damn! Again, I'm so glad I unlocked flight in this area. Let us be off. Hey! What's up, Alfino? Nervous? Me? Not at all. It's a bit dark though, isn't it? Definitely not haunted though. Certainly not. You're not much of a threat one-on-one, but Tol Shas was right about their numbers. If we fight them all, we'll be here a fortnight. Anchored. These aren't the livers, but they're certainly stolen from somewhere. Unless wheat has started growing on the sea floor since last I checked. Yeah, that's definitely not a thing. Thrusting your hand into each sack in turn, you find that all are filled with wheat down to the bottom. You also find that raw wheat is unpleasantly pointy. So just keep looking for shit, I guess. Of course. me just get over here before I start fighting. Or not. Even better. A clammy cask. On cursory sniff, you detect the faint aroma of fresh oranges. A far cry from the rather memorable scent of Maniri liver. Okay. These boxes are filled with assorted vegetables. Liver is not a vegetable. Yes, thank you for telling me that. Andrew, what are you doing? Mean scaled the wall with remarkable swiftness. Tancred taught her well. Ah, so it's over there. Maybe. What are you doing, Green? I haven't forgotten why we're here, I swear. Only, this bird hasn't taken its eyes off me since I found it. I think it might be lonely. Shoebill? The Shoebill is staring at Reem. Just staring. Alright, so this wasn't it either. This place is so relaxing. A bulbous bag. As long as it's just a bag. And not the tree branch. That's bulbous. From the squelching noise they make when prodded in the vile stench, you conclude that these bags are bursting with livers. Brilliant. Are those them? Perhaps you've deduced this already, but it seems the Bentos have been raiding Colusian storehouses as well as those of the Ondo. That's how they have all this shit, right? Oranges, pumpkins, wheat. But we can discuss this after we see the livers safely back to Tolshath. Wouldn't do to keep them in suspense. Oh wait, I don't need to. I can just, I'm glad you had better luck than I did. I spent the whole time fighting one Bentos after another. That almost happened to me. I have a feeling that there's more to this. Of course, when isn't there? So the Bentos have been stealing supplies from the Colusians. I know it sounds strange, but there really was a bird in those caves. Oh, I know, I saw you. Did you happen to see a bird while you were in the caves? Reen insists that there was one. But how? Should have talked to Tancred first for that to make more sense, but... To venture ashore and steal from the Colusians entaileth unconscionable risk, yet there is no denying the truth of our eyes. I am relieved to see you unspeared. Barely. One bastard did chase me, but he gave up. Ooh. Ooh. Our precious livers! I knew you would not fail. We also found all manner of foodstuffs from Colusia and the Flounder's floor. Tell me, Tolshath, does that seem odd to you? It is brazen, to be sure. I'm reminded of rumors I've heard recently concerning a rash of thefts from Colusian warehouses. The perpetrators enter in the dead of night and are gone before anyone has realized what has happened. The Yomoran army has been investigating, but thus far to no avail. Perhaps the reason they have struggled so is that their quarry is of the sea. The true question, then, is what we mean to do about it. Much as I would like to proceed to the ruins without further delay, we cannot allow the Bentos to carry on as they are. If I may, I believe that the ruins are in fact key to the Bentos' plans. Is that so? These ruins, which lie deep within the illuminated land, are a recent discovery. We have seen signs that the Benthos are preparing to claim them with all haste. We could not fathom why, but in light of the knowledge that they have been stockpiling resources, it is clear that their queen will soon give birth. They require space to raise their young and food for both queen and hatchlings to thrive. Well, we can hardly fault them for that. Under normal circumstances, perhaps. But conditions in the Tempest are far from suitable for spawning. Its resources barely able to sustain our current population. There is only one reason they would disregard this. They seek to build an army, and with it take revenge upon the Finless. It is not a surprise. They came to us not long ago seeking allies for the cause. We rebuffed them, of course. The suffering of others will not serve as balm to their own. Their queen, however, desires only bloodshed and will gladly send her children to die in our stead. If they are planning to wage war, that changes matters considerably. Indeed. I doubt that this can be resolved without violence, but perhaps with a show of force we can convince them to see reason before the die is cast. I would rather not risk your people in the attempt. If we travel to the illuminated land, is there a way we might identify the ruins ourselves? Yes. Once you reach its depths, go deeper still. You will see a monstrous structure there upon the seafloor. That you have come to us now is the will of the Ancient Ones. They have guided you here that you may drive out the usurpers, those who seek to use their magnificent creations with vile purpose. I have no doubt that they will show you the way forward. I'm afraid that the dead do not speak quite so clearly. Nevertheless, we shall try not to disappoint. If what we seek lieth deeper still beyond Amarot, I would call upon the assistance of another. I think I know what he's implying there. I think. A whale's tail? Yeah. Of course. Though our course hath been decided, to pursue it we must needs beseech the aid of a friend. I speak of Bismarck. Yeah, I knew that's where this was going. Pray follow me to Sullen that we might seek an audience with him once more. Sure thing, man, but, that will have to wait till next time. I'm gonna wrap up the stream now. You need not believe in the will of the ancients to receive of their guidance. Like the tide and the current, it is there always. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I'll leave it there. It's past 2.5 hours. Good length stream. I'll continue this tomorrow morning, assuming I wake up. Oh, and there goes my alarm too. Look at that, right on time. 15 minutes. Continue this tomorrow morning, if I get up early enough and I'm not dead tired. But it is for good reason, mind you. It is for good reason. I guess that's it, yeah. I don't have much else to say. That's it for now. Thank you all again for watching and for supporting the stream, following and subscribing on Twitch and YouTube respectively. Hope you all enjoyed the show, and I wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. Bye. Can you tell I'm tired? I'm just like, can't even smile fully. It's bad.